Picture yourself in your favorite spot at home. Maybe it's the kitchen table with a warm mug of coffee, sunlight spilling through the window, or a cozy corner where you unwind with a glass of tea. You're about to start your day with a meal you've chosen with care, something to keep you strong, vibrant, and ready to embrace every moment. You reach for a jar of seeds. Those tiny little powerhouses you've been told are the key to health, especially as we age. You sprinkle some over your oatmeal, maybe blend a few into a smoothie, because you've heard they're packed with nutrients that keep you going. But what if I told you that some of those seeds, the ones you've trusted for years, might be quietly working against you? Not in a loud, obvious way, but in a subtle, sneaky way that could be draining your energy, fogging your focus, or putting stress on your heart. It's a little unsettling to think about, isn't it? But don't worry, today we're going to unravel this mystery together, and I promise you'll walk away feeling empowered, not overwhelmed. Welcome to Serene Senior Life, the place where we talk about aging as a season of strength, clarity, and choice. I'm your host, and if you're new here, I'm so thrilled you're joining us. This channel is all about giving you practical, honest tips to live your best life after 50, whether that's through smarter nutrition, simple habits, or rediscovering the joy in everyday moments. If you've been with us before, you know we don't just toss out advice. We dig deep, share stories, and make sure you leave with something you can use today. So, grab that coffee, tea, or maybe just a glass of water, and let's dive into a topic that's going to change the way you think about your diet: seeds. Those tiny additions to your meals might seem harmless, but some could be holding you back, especially if you're over 50. Others, they're like hidden gems that could transform how you feel, from your energy to your memory. By the time we're done, you'll know exactly which 3 seeds to avoid and 3 others you should be reaching for every day. Let's set the scene. You're at the grocery store, standing in the health food aisle, surrounded by colorful bags of seeds: flax, chia, sesame, maybe even some exotic ones you saw on a cooking show or read about in a magazine. The labels scream superfood, nutrient-dense, heart-healthy. And for those of us over 50, those words hit home. We're at a stage where every choice matters a little more. Our bodies don't bounce back like they did in our 20s or 30s. Maybe you've noticed you're more tired than you used to be, or your joints creak a bit in the morning. Maybe you've had moments where you walk into a room and forget why you're there, or you're struggling to sleep through the night. These things can feel like just part of getting older, but what if some of those symptoms are tied to the foods you're eating every day? Not the obvious culprits like sugary snacks or fast food, but the ones you think are doing you good. Seeds are often marketed as the ultimate health hack. You see them in Instagram smoothie bowls, wellness blogs, even those fancy granola bars at the coffee shop. And don't get me wrong, some seeds are incredible for you, but others? They're not as innocent as they seem, especially as our bodies change with age. After 50, our metabolism slows, our liver and kidneys might not work as efficiently, and we become more sensitive to certain compounds. That's why we're going to talk about 3 seeds that could be quietly undermining your health and 3 others that are absolute must-haves for keeping you sharp, strong, and energized. This isn't about scaring you or telling you to overhaul your pantry. It's about making small, smart choices that add up to big differences in how you feel. I want to share a quick story to bring this home. A few months ago, I was chatting with my friend Linda, who's 62 and one of the most vibrant people I know. She's always been careful about her diet, lots of greens, lean proteins, and yes, those trendy seeds everyone raves about. But she mentioned she'd been feeling off lately. Nothing major, just a nagging sense of fatigue, some bloating after meals, and moments where her brain felt a little foggy. She laughed it off, saying, "Well, I guess that's just what happens when you hit your 60s. But I wasn't so sure. We started looking at her daily routine, and it turned out she was eating a lot of one particular seed that's been hailed as a health hero, but can cause problems if you're not careful. When she made a simple swap, cutting back on that seed and adding a different one, it was like someone flipped a switch. Her energy came back, her digestion settled, and she even said her memory felt sharper. That's the power of knowing what's helping you and what's holding you back. Why does this matter? Because aging isn't about giving up or slowing down. It's about choosing wisely. Every bite you take is a chance to nourish your body or, unfortunately, to stress it out. Seeds are small, but they pack a punch, sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. If you're over 50, your body is asking for a little extra care, a little more precision in what you feed it. The good news is, you don't need to be a nutritionist or spend hours researching. I've done the work for you. Pulling from scientific studies, expert insights, and real-world experiences to bring you a clear, actionable guide. We're going to walk through this together, step by step, so you can make choices that leave you feeling your best. Seeds are nature's tiny powerhouses, packed with nutrients like fiber, healthy fats, and antioxidants. But not all seeds are created equal. And as we age, our bodies process them differently. Some contain compounds that, while harmless in small amounts or for younger folks, can build up over time and cause issues for older adults. These compounds might mess with your digestion, trigger low-grade inflammation, or even stress your heart or nervous system. On the flip side, other seeds are like little gifts from nature, loaded with nutrients that support your brain, bones, and overall vitality. Knowing which is which can make all the difference. So, let's start with the first seed you might want to rethink, especially if you're over 50. It's one you've probably got in your pantry right now, and it's been hailed as a superfood for years. It's flax seeds. Those tiny brown or golden seeds you've been sprinkling on your yogurt or blending into your smoothies. They're everywhere, from health food stores to grocery aisles to coffee shop menus. Flax seeds have their benefits, no question. They're packed with fiber, omega-3 fatty acids, and lignans, which act like antioxidants. You've probably heard they're great for heart health or digestion, and that's not entirely wrong. But here's the catch. Flax seeds also contain a natural compound called linamarin, which, when digested, can break down into something called hydrogen cyanide. Yes, cyanide. It sounds like something from a crime novel. I know, but stay with me. In small amounts, your body can handle it, especially when you're younger and your liver and kidneys are working at full speed. But as we age, our detoxification systems slow down, and that tiny bit of cyanide can start to add up, especially if you're eating flax seeds every day. Think of your body like a busy kitchen, with your liver and kidneys as the dishwashers. In your 20s and 30s, those dishwashers are top of the line, cleaning everything quickly and efficiently. After 50, they're still working, just a bit slower, and they can't handle as many dishes at once. If you keep piling on compounds like linamarin, it's like overloading the dishwasher. It starts to back up, and you might notice symptoms like fatigue, bloating, or even lightheadedness. Studies from places like the National Institutes of Health have pointed out that raw flax seeds, in particular, can be risky if you overdo it. They recommend sticking to no more than 15 grams a day. That's about a tablespoon for most adults, but for those of us over 50, even that might be too much if your body's detoxification isn't at its peak. Does this mean you need to swear off flax seeds forever? Not at all. The key is preparation and moderation. Raw, whole flax seeds are the riskiest because they pass through your body undigested, releasing those compounds in your gut. Grinding them or toasting them can reduce the risk significantly, as heat breaks down some of the linamarin. If you love flax, stick to a small amount, say, a teaspoon or two a few times a week, not every day. Mix them into baked goods or sprinkle them over a salad. But don't eat them on an empty stomach, as that can make digestion trickier. Pair them with other fiber sources, like oats or berries, to keep things balanced. The goal is to enjoy the benefits without overloading your system. Now, let's talk about another seed that might be in your pantry or one you've heard about in wellness circles: bitter apricot seeds. These are a bit different because they've got a cult following, especially in places like the Southwest or in communities with strong cultural traditions. You might have heard them touted as a natural remedy, sometimes even as a cure for serious illnesses. People have been eating them for generations, roasting them, soaking them in honey, or blending them into homemade tonics. But the truth is, bitter apricot seeds are not the miracle cure they're made out to be. In fact, they can be downright dangerous. They contain a compound called amygdalin, which, like linamarin and flax seeds, breaks down into hydrogen cyanide in your body. This isn't just a theoretical risk. Eating too many bitter apricot seeds can cause serious symptoms, from nausea and dizziness to confusion and trouble breathing. The FDA has been clear. Just 5 to 10 seeds can trigger a reaction in some adults, and for older folks with slower detoxification, the risk is even higher. I remember talking to a viewer named Maria, who's 67 and lives in Arizona. She'd been eating a few bitter apricot seeds every day because a friend swore they were good for her immune system. She didn't feel sick right away, but she started noticing headaches and a strange sense of unease after meals. When she stopped eating the seeds and switched to safer alternatives, those symptoms vanished. It's stories like Maria's that remind us how important it is to question what we're told, even if it's labeled natural. A study in the journal Regulatory Toxicology and Pharmacology found that a single gram of bitter apricot seeds can release up to 3 milligrams of cyanide, which is dangerously close to toxic levels, especially if you're eating them regularly. If you've got bitter apricot seeds in your pantry or you're taking supplements with apricot kernel extract, it's time to hit pause. Talk to your doctor. Do your research, and don't let an old health myth put your well-being at risk. There's one more seed to watch out for, and this one has a history that's both fascinating and a little chilling. Grass pea, or Lathyrus sativus. This seed takes us back to tougher times, like the Dust Bowl era or the Great Depression, when grass peas were a staple for many families in rural America. They were cheap, filling, and easy to grow when other crops failed. In places like Kansas or Oklahoma, you'd find them in porridges or casseroles, a symbol of resilience. But there's a dark side to this humble seed that most people don't know about. Grass peas contain a neurotoxin called ODAP, which can build up in your body over time and do serious damage to your nervous system. ODAP mimics an amino acid your body needs, but instead of helping, it starts attacking your spinal cord and motor neurons, the ones that control your ability to move. You might not notice anything at first. Maybe you eat grass peas in a specialty flour or an exotic porridge mix for months, even years, without a problem. But then, one day, your legs feel weak. You start tripping more often, or your hands tremble when you try to hold something steady. These symptoms can look a lot like normal aging, stiffness, balance issues, but they could be signs of something called lathyrism, a condition linked to grass pea consumption. Back in the mid-20th century, there were outbreaks of lathyrism in Europe, where hundreds of people ended up paralyzed because they relied on grass peas during hard times. It's so serious that the seed was banned in several countries, and here in the US, it's mostly used for animal feed now. The tricky part? Grass peas are making a quiet comeback in some niche markets, especially online, where they're sold as heritage grains or heirloom legumes. If you're buying unlabeled flours or exotic seed mixes, you might be getting grass peas without even knowing it. My advice: check the ingredients carefully. If you see Lathyrus sativus on the label, toss it out. There are so many safer options out there: black beans, lentils, chickpeas, that give you all the protein and fiber you need without the risk. Now that we've covered the seeds to avoid, it's time to shift gears and focus on the ones that can truly nourish you. If you're feeling a little cautious after hearing about flax seeds, bitter apricot seeds, and grass peas, I get it. It's a lot to take in. But here's where we turn the corner and talk about 3 seeds that are absolute game changers for your body and mind. These aren't just any seeds. They're like little allies that work with your body to boost your energy, sharpen your mind, and keep your heart and bones strong. And the best part? They're easy to incorporate into your daily routine, whether you're a smoothie lover, a salad enthusiast, or someone who just wants to sprinkle a little health into their meals. Let's start with the first one, chia seeds. You've probably seen them all over, those tiny, speckled seeds that look like they belong in a fancy health food cafe. They're small, dark, and shiny, almost like little beads of obsidian, and they've got a reputation for being a nutritional powerhouse. What makes chia seeds so special for those of us over 50? It's all about what they bring to the table. They're loaded with soluble fiber, which is like a gentle hug for your digestive system. That fiber slows down how quickly sugar gets absorbed into your bloodstream, which is a big deal if you're watching your blood sugar or trying to keep your energy steady. Plus, chia seeds are one of the best plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically ALA, which is fantastic for your heart and brain. Imagine starting your day with a bowl of oatmeal or a smoothie, and you add a teaspoon of chia seeds that you've soaked in water or almond milk. That small addition could help lower your LDL cholesterol, the bad kind that clogs arteries, and keep your blood pressure in check. A 2022 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors who ate about 15 grams of chia seeds daily for 12 weeks saw improvements in their triglycerides, blood pressure, and even their sleep quality. They also reported feeling sharper in the mornings, like their brain fog had lifted. But here's a heads up: chia seeds need to be handled with care. They can absorb up to 12 times their weight in water, which is great for keeping you hydrated but can cause trouble if you eat them dry. If you've ever tried sprinkling dry chia seeds on a salad or yogurt, you might have noticed bloating or discomfort later. That's because they expand in your stomach. And for older adults with slower digestion, that can lead to constipation or even a choking risk. The fix is simple. Always soak your chia seeds for at least 30 minutes before eating them. Mix them with water, milk, or juice to create a gel-like texture that's easy on your system. Stick to 1 to 2 teaspoons a day, and you're golden. Try adding them to a morning smoothie with berries and spinach or stirring them into a yogurt parfait for a boost of energy and focus. Next up is a seed that doesn't get nearly enough love but is a staple in so many kitchens: sesame seeds. If you're a fan of bagels, stir-fries, or Mediterranean dishes like tahini, you're already eating these, maybe without even realizing how powerful they are. Sesame seeds are tiny, but they pack a serious nutritional punch, especially for those of us over 50. The standout feature? They're one of the best natural sources of calcium out there, delivering more than 970 milligrams per 100 grams, way more than a glass of milk. And unlike some calcium supplements, which can build up in your arteries, the calcium in sesame seeds is bioavailable, meaning your body can use it to strengthen your bones and teeth. This is huge as we age, because bone density starts to decline more quickly after 50, especially for women going through menopause or anyone at risk for osteoporosis. Sesame seeds are also rich in magnesium, zinc, and copper, which work together to help your body absorb that calcium and keep your bones strong. Plus, they contain a compound called sesamin, a powerful antioxidant that can lower blood pressure, reduce inflammation, and protect your cells from oxidative stress. A study in the Journal of Nutrition and Healthy Aging found that seniors who added sesame seeds to their diets had stronger bones, fewer fractures, and less joint pain from arthritis. The trick with sesame seeds is that your body doesn't absorb their nutrients well if you eat them whole and raw. Those tiny seeds can slip right through your digestive system without breaking down. To get the full benefit, toast them lightly or grind them into a powder. Sprinkle toasted sesame seeds over roasted veggies or a stir-fry for a nutty crunch. Or blend tahini into a salad dressing with lemon and garlic. Pair them with foods high in vitamin C, like bell peppers or oranges, to boost calcium absorption even more. The third seed might surprise you, because it's something most of us throw away without a second thought: avocado seeds. Yes, that big, round pit you scoop out of your avocado and toss in the trash. I know it sounds a little out there, but hear me out. This seed is a hidden gem, especially for those of us looking to stay vibrant as we age. Avocado seeds are packed with polyphenol, the same kind of antioxidants you find in green tea or red wine, which fight inflammation, protect your arteries, and slow down cellular aging. They're also rich in lignans, a type of soluble fiber that helps stabilize blood sugar, lower cholesterol, and feed the good bacteria in your gut, which is so important for digestion, mood, and immunity as we get older. I first learned about avocado seeds from a viewer named Rosa, who's 70 and lives in Southern California. She grew up in a family that used every part of the avocado, including the seed, which they dry and grind into a powder for teas or smoothies. Rosa swore it helped with her joint pain and kept her energy steady. I was skeptical, but then I dug into the research. A study from Penn State University found that avocado seed extract has anti-inflammatory effects similar to over-the-counter pain relievers, but without the strain on your kidneys or liver. In communities across Latin America, avocado seeds have been used for generations to ease fatigue, support digestion, and boost vitality in older adults. Here's how to use them. Don't try to eat the seed whole. It's too hard and won't do you any good. Let it dry out for a day or two. Then carefully cut it into smaller pieces and grind it into a fine powder using a blender or spice grinder. The powder has a slightly bitter, earthy flavor with a hint of sweetness, and it's perfect for adding to smoothies, oatmeal, or soups. Start with about a teaspoon a day, blended with something flavorful like banana, cacao, or almond milk. Now that you know which seeds to embrace, let's talk about how to make them part of your life. Knowing what to avoid and what to include is one thing, but putting it into action is where the magic happens. If you're over 50, you've probably got a routine that works for you. Maybe it's your morning coffee ritual, your daily walk, or the way you wind down at night. Adding these seeds into your routine doesn't have to feel like a chore. It's about small, intentional choices that add up over time. If you've got flax seeds in your pantry, don't toss them just yet. You can still enjoy them, but be strategic. Grind them up, toast them. And keep your portions small. Think a teaspoon a few times a week, not a heaping scoop every day. Mix them into muffins or sprinkle them over a salad with other fiber-rich foods to keep your digestion happy. If you're using bitter apricot seeds or anything labeled as apricot kernel or vitamin B17, it's time to let them go. Your health is too precious for unproven remedies, and there are so many safer ways to boost your immunity. Check your supplements. 2. Some natural products sneak in apricot seed extract, so read those labels carefully. 4. Grass peas. Be extra cautious when buying specialty flours or legume mixes, especially online or at local markets. Stick to trusted staples like lentils or black beans, which give you all the protein and fiber without the risk. For the good seeds, chia, sesame, and avocado, start with chia. Try making a chia pudding for breakfast. Mix 2 teaspoons of chia seeds with a cup of almond milk or water. Let it sit in the fridge overnight. And top it with fresh fruit in the morning. It's creamy, satisfying, and great for your heart and brain. If you're not a pudding fan, toss a teaspoon of soaked chia into your smoothie or stir it into yogurt. For sesame seeds, think beyond bagels. Sprinkle toasted sesame seeds over roasted veggies or a stir-fry. Or blend tahini into a salad dressing. It's a simple way to get that calcium boost your bones need. And for avocado seeds, save one the next time you make guacamole. Dry it out, grind it up, and add a teaspoon to your morning smoothie or oatmeal. To make this stick, plan ahead. Set aside a few minutes each week to prep your seeds, soak a batch of chia, toast some sesame, or grind an avocado seed and store the powder in a jar. Having them ready makes it easy to sprinkle them into meals without thinking twice. Rotate them to keep things interesting. Maybe Monday is chia day, Wednesday is sesame day, and Friday you experiment with avocado seed. I want to share one more story because this one really hit home. A few weeks ago, I got a comment from a viewer named Tom, who's 73 and lives in Texas. He'd been struggling with joint pain and low energy. And he was frustrated because he thought he was doing everything right, eating healthy, staying active, you name it. After watching one of our videos, he started cutting back on flax seeds and added chia and sesame to his meals. He also gave avocado seeds a try after seeing his daughter throw them out one day. A month later, he wrote back to say his knees felt better than they had in years, and he was waking up with more energy to tackle his garden. It's stories like Tom's that remind me why we do this, because small changes can make such a big difference. If you're feeling inspired but a little overwhelmed, take a deep breath. You don't need to overhaul your diet overnight. Start with one change. Maybe it's soaking chia seeds for tomorrow's breakfast or checking your pantry for risky seeds. Every step you take is a step toward feeling stronger and more vibrant. Listen to your body, and if something doesn't feel right, talk to your doctor or a nutritionist. They can help you tailor these tips to your specific needs, especially if you have conditions like diabetes or kidney issues. Share this with someone you care about, maybe a friend who's always sprinkling flax seeds on their cereal, or a family member curious about natural remedies. The more we know, the better we can take care of ourselves and each other. This journey we've been on today, from the seeds to avoid to the ones that can lift you up, is all about empowering you to thrive. Aging isn't about slowing down or accepting less. It's about choosing more. More energy, more clarity, more moments where you feel like your best self. Those tiny seeds in your kitchen? They're not just food. They're decisions, declarations that you're prioritizing your health and your future. When I started digging into this topic, I was amazed at how something so small could have such a big impact. It's not just about seeds. It's about paying attention, being curious, and not taking healthy at face value. You deserve better than that. So, what's your next step? Maybe it's taking a peek at your pantry. Maybe it's trying a new recipe with chia or sesame seeds this week. Or maybe it's just pausing to appreciate how far you've come and how much power you have to shape the years ahead. You're not alone in this. This Serene Senior Life community is here for you, cheering you on, sharing stories, and learning together. I read every single comment, so drop one below and let me know what you're thinking. Where are you watching from? How old are you? What's one small change you're excited to try? I can't wait to hear from you. If this video sparked something in you, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our next video. We've got so much more to explore together, from nutrition tips to simple habits that make aging feel like a celebration. Until next time, Keep choosing strength, keep choosing clarity, and keep choosing you. I'll see you soon.